Good morning. I am back in my studio in my pajamas with my cup of tea this morning, ready to get painting. So this morning I want to do just a really quick demo on how to add some interest to our large shapes as we begin painting. Oftentimes you hear artists talk about getting your large shapes in first. A great way to start a painting, very important way to help you understand your value patterns and your composition throughout your painting. Oftentimes I think that those large shapes get boring because we fill them in with just one color, and so they become very flat. So I kind of wanted to do just a really quick demo on how to keep those areas interesting. So with that, I'm going to get painting, and I hope you enjoy. So this is just a little 5.5 by 7.5 piece of pastel mat in beige, obviously. So we're going to go ahead and I am marking where the light is. This area in here is a bit light, lighter than the darker areas. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark that, and then I'm going to go ahead and start. So when we talk about finding our big shapes, well, in pastels in particular, we do whisper to dark to light, hard pastels to soft pastels, and whisper to shout. So this is a harder pastel, and I am just gently rubbing it across the paper. And I'm going to continue to whisper in my darks. I obviously needed another piece of tape down there. And by doing different colors, by using different colors of the same value in the dark areas, I am adding interest. I'm adding some optical interest into it. I think I like that. That looks pretty good. So now from here, we're going to gradually move into the other value areas. As I mentioned, this was a lighter value, and I could see that a little bit in the reference photo. Hard pastel doesn't want to play nice. I'm also going to go ahead and add some of this into my trees and shrubs, and I'm going to go ahead and put a little dark in this tree. It's going to need a little and a smidge in this back tree line. Now we don't want it to be as dark as the front, which we will lighten as we go. Right now, obviously, we're just talking about putting in the dark areas, so we want these to remain a little bit lighter because they're further in the back. Things that recede into the distance become duller and cooler. So we can go ahead and have some fun with the blues there. And I can add a little bit of this grayer green. I do think we're going to want some orange back there. I think we need a little orange. Finding kind of a grade orange color. I'm just going to add a little bit of that in, especially to my tree. And we're going to put some here in this area. And again, I am scumbling or whispering across the surface of the pastel paper. Don't want to go too dark too fast. Oh, that's, wow. Okay, maybe not that color. There you go. That's the fun of the pastel, right? Trying to add just a little bit of a shadow area under that tree, and that just didn't work out great, so we'll go ahead and make some of that over that. And I want to use some of that gray green in the background as well, right? Get some of that in there so that that sits back a little bit. We'll dull down that blue because that's pretty intense. Add some purple to my tree, like that. And then maybe it does need just a hint of some of the olive to help harmonize that, the foreground and the middle ground here of the tree. And just a little bit more again to the foreground because we want them to look like they are together, not to separate. Bring in a little gray gold where the sun's hitting the back of that area there. Okay, so that's kind of the concept of a dark, of our two areas, our dark area, our mid-value, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same with our sky area. And again, same thing with this. We can add, as long as they're the same value, excuse my dirty pastels, I did not clean this morning. It is important to keep your pastels clean. But as long as our colors are the same value, we can put a lot of different colors down to add interest to our the different areas in our paintings. So we can go back and forth with a lot of these. I can actually get a light purple. Get some of that in there. That's always a nice color in a sky. Kind of tones it down, cools it off. All right. And the one thing I will say is when you're doing a sky, you do have to put some sky holes in your trees and get close. Don't be afraid, right? It's just a tree. So we can bring this in here. But as you can see, I have used 3 colors for my sky. The main one being the blue. I'm actually going to go ahead and come all the way down here with this blue, even though we'll have to lighten that up later because the sky gets lightest closest to the horizon. But like I said, I really just wanted to do a quick demo on how I start to build in the layers. So I have my layers built. As the light filters through the leaves on the tree, you're going to lose some of your light. So sometimes it's nice to have those be a little bit darker. So I'll leave that for now until I back up and look away. But I wanted you to see the initial block in. From here, I would begin to add the grasses. There's a lot of grass up front in the reference. So I can start to add in now. Things that are closer to us are they have more chroma. The colors are brighter, more saturated. So we can add some fun, saturated colors. I just wanted to show you how that would work. You could keep going with all the detail you wanted, or you can leave it alone. So that's how, when people talk about finding your shapes and building your shapes, painting your shapes first, you can do that, but you can do it with multiple colors of the same value to add a lot of interest. And I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you again next time. Bye.